Hi Cancer, welcome to your September 2019 Astrology 33 bonus love reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And just to let you guys know, I actually won't be offering personal readings this month. It's possible that by the time I do start posting the October videos, I'll be resuming the personal readings by then. But either way, I'll at the very least give you guys an update when I post those October videos as to whether I'm going to have openings for personal readings or not. Alright, just wanted to let you know that. And for those of you who haven't seen this type of spread before, this is a spread I do called the Bridging the Gap spread, and the way it works is the cards on the left side here would represent your energy towards the connection with your main love interest. The cards on the other side would represent their energy toward the connection. And then we would have the past energies here, present energies, and then future energies. And once we get through those cards, we'll actually pull some oracle cards to help tie everything together, and that's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. Alright, so with that out of the way, we'll get started with the main spread. Starting with the past position on your side, we have the Five of Cups. So this is technically a card of Scorpio, the first 10 degrees of Scorpio, but I also view this as a combination of Moon and Pluto energy. So this can be something that goes back as far as the full moon that took place in Capricorn for some of you, because basically that full moon was right next to Pluto, essentially, which is in Capricorn. So that could be, maybe you found out there was some disappointing news you found out around that time. The first vibe, them getting there, just looking at the person's, facial expression along with the 3 cups knocked over and the 2 standing up, is there may have been some confusion or lack of boundaries around the connection. So what I mean by that is you may have perceived it one way, right? Like you might have thought that, okay, we're in an exclusive connection, right? Like, oh, it's just me and you. And then you come to find out the other person had a totally different view of the connection, which was, oh, we're just casually dating or whatever, and they were possibly seeing other people. That's the first thing that jumps out to me there. Another way this could be playing out, though, is could just be saying that in general, you've had some difficulty getting over heartbreak, and maybe there is a new connection waiting for you in the wings once you actually are able to get past that. But at the time, or at least, this represents the past position, so you might be out of this energy by now. But at least in the recent past, you might have still been hung up on that and not really too ready to open up to a new connection. Alright, so that could play out a couple different ways. Past energy on their side is actually the Knave of Swords. So this is the equivalent of the Page of Swords. So the first thing that jumps out to me here is possibly you were dealing with an air sign, could be any air sign, and most likely they would be younger than you, or possibly less experienced than you. Another way that this could play out too, for those of you who are used to watching my general readings, when I talk about the Page of Swords energy and the Rider-Waite, I always point out their stance. It looks like a 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of energy. So that could have been what was going on there too, as far as, there might have been some desire there for, from this person, but when it came to actually committing, they might have, been 1 foot in, 1 foot out, couldn't really make up their mind what they were doing. And I think that might have been, I think it was your reading last month that had the same theme, where there was someone who was slowly warming up to the idea of commitment. So this could just be a continuation of that for some of you. But I mean, if we even look at the person there, right? I mean, she's ready to go, it appears. And even here, if we just look at his facial expression, he looks non-committal there too, right? Like, okay, it's there for you, take it, right? But for whatever reason, he seems to be holding back. So that's definitely the vibe I'm getting there. So definitely looks like cross signals in the past at the very least. In the present position on your side, we have the Queen of Coins. So this is actually the Court card for Capricorn. So given the fact that Capricorn is your opposite sign, and the Queen is obviously a pretty high ranking, I would say that this is possibly you now coming out of that energy of, okay, I saw it this way, they saw it the other way, or maybe even, just moving out of the disappointment and moving toward a connection that you might be more ready for now. To me, the first thing that comes out to me here is boundaries. You know, I feel like this is you establishing boundaries, whether it be with that person from the past or as you move forward to a new connection, and just really letting people know, like, look, I'm looking for something serious. You know, so maybe in the past you got caught up in that thing where there were no boundaries defined, right? So that could have been what led up to the confusion. So you might look at that now like, okay, lesson learned, right? Now, right off the gate, I'm letting people know, hey, I'm looking for something serious, right? So that could be how it's playing out for some of you. There's nothing really going on in your 10th house right now, so I don't necessarily see that connection there. I mean, you do have Chiron in retrograde there now, so maybe that's what's helping too. You know, maybe it helped you look at things in that area of life and now see, okay, this is how I could best move forward. But yeah, for some of you, this can just be saying that, you know, we know how that typical thing goes. Sometimes you have disappointments in love, you put your energy to somewhere else. So maybe some of you have been having some financial success as well because of the fact that you're like, all right, I'm not even focusing on my love life. I'm sick of all this crap and, you know, just put all your energy into something else. That could be a way it's playing out for some of you too. But for the majority of you, I really think it's more the first thing that I was saying, which is that you're just establishing boundaries now and letting people know what you will and will not accept. So take that how you will. And speaking of which, at the bottom of the deck, we actually have the Prince of Coins, which is the equivalent of the Knight of Pentacles, which is a Virgo energy. And there's plenty of, you know, planetary energy going on right now in the sign of Virgo as I'm recording this. And on top of that, you know, that's your third house. So that could be what's helping too. You know, all of that energy going into your third house could help you really communicate, hey, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I need, take it or leave it, kind of, right? So that could be what's going on there. Now, in the present position on their side, we actually have the Ten of Wands. So, you know, if we think about the Ten of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite, it looks like a person just carrying a bunch of wands, not even really seeing where they're going necessarily, but still putting in the work anyway, right? So that's the first thing that comes out to me when I think of that is someone's putting in the work now. So again, it can be because the challenge might have been in the past for you to establish those boundaries and let them know what you will and will not accept. Now in the present, they're aware of that, right? You made it very clear this is what you will and will not accept, and now they're actually putting in that work. Sounds really good on the surface, but the only thing I would say as a cautionary thing is sometimes the Ten of Wands energy is also seen as a burden, though. So even though this looks pretty passionate on the surface, yeah, they might be putting in the work, but you know, you might have to wait it out a little bit to see if how they actually view putting in that work, right? Like, okay, are they willing participants? Like, okay, they're just as into it as you are, or do they feel more like they were dragged into it, right? So, just something you got to watch out for there. In the future position on your side, we have the Six of Coins. So this is the equivalent to the Six of Pentacles. So a lot of Pentacle energy on your side. So like I said, for some of you, it can just be that you tossed love aside because of the disappointment in the past and is really focused on other areas of your life, building up your stability. Totally a possibility. Maybe they even kicked off for you in Leo season when all of those planets that are moving through Virgo now are in Leo. You know, that might have really helped things take off in the area of finances for you. Maybe you guys are getting the rewards of that. But if this is just strictly a relationship thing, the Six of Pentacles energy is normally about balance. And what stands out to me more with this one more than anything is, first of all, if we look in the background, there's like, it looks like a snowy background, right? And that makes me think of the Five of Pentacles energy, which is you see the people, looks like they're walking through a snowstorm, right? And we often refer to that card as being left out in the cold. So obviously she's inside now, right? And another thing that stands out to me too, if we think of the balance aspect with the Six of Pentacles, is she already has three on her side. He has two on his side, yet he's offering another, right? So this could just be saying that because of an imbalance in the past, and again, it brings me back to the feeling that you're establishing boundaries. You might kind of be putting it out there for them like, well, look, in the past, I was the one doing all the work and you weren't really doing your part. So now you might be telling them to put in more, right? And, you know, that could be the effort that they're putting in there. ideally you wouldn't stay in that type of dynamic too long where, okay, one person's giving way more than the other sometimes and then it flips, but at least if this is just something for them to show you that they're serious, then that's a positive thing, but that's really what I'm picking up on there. And also, I can't remember if I said it or not, but this is a Taurus energy. So, um, again, if this was a friend, right? Like I said, maybe you guys could have been a friends with benefits thing, and now you're actually putting your foot down because Taurus is your 11th house of friendships and saying that, hey, I'm looking for something real, so either take it or leave it. And maybe with Uranus going retrograde in your 11th house now, maybe that stopped all the random energy that was coming out in that area of life for you. All right, if I could pick up the last card here. Wow, there we go. Future energy on their side, we have the Queen of Wands. So this is interesting because, for one, this is a court card for Aries. So for some of you, you could absolutely be dealing with an Aries, right? But another thing that I think about with this is someone taking action. It's a very action-oriented energy. And like we were saying, as far as the person having to put in the work, right? And that could be what's going on there. And then for you guys, Aries is your 10th house, which is career, but also social status. So even though seventh house, which is Capricorn for you guys, is primarily the relationship house, I also view 10th house as related to that too. Because, for example, your social status is, are you single? Are you in a relationship, right? So I see this as them putting in that work, really taking action and trying to establish something serious with you. And then at the bottom of the deck on their side, they actually have the Ace of Swords, which, represents truth coming out. This could finally be them communicating about what they were feeling, right, in the situation. And then if we look at the actual artwork here too, there's like that feeling of submission, right? So again, like I said, for most of you, it does look like this person's definitely into it, but like I said, just keep an eye out for what their perspective is underneath the surface as far as, do they feel like they're tied down, right? Because quite literally, that's what's happening here. Do they view being in a relationship as a true positive, or do they view it as being tied down, and then they might want to get cut loose from that, right? So just something to keep in mind there. That's a vibe that I'm getting. And like I said, it can just be a continuation of that same energy where someone's just really, really slow at moving toward a commitment with you. So it's like they're getting there, but maybe they're going through the motions, but do they deep down still view it as a positive to be in a relationship, or do they still feel like they're missing out on something? All right, let's see if the oracle cards add any additional insight to the situation. So first, we'll take a look at these Mystic Moon Oracle deck, and what I do is I pre-shuffle these before I record, and then what I'm looking for is actually jumpers. So first I'm going to see if we get any as far as unspoken messages from you toward them, and then we'll see if we have any unspoken messages from them toward you. And since these are general readings, if I shuffle for a while and just not feeling anything jumping, then we'll just take that as a sign and keep moving. All right. So like I said, first we'll see if we have any unspoken messages from you toward them. All right, nothing coming up yet. I'll give it a couple more shuffles though, see if we get anything. Yep, nothing there, so we'll see if there's any unspoken messages from them toward you now. Yep, got one. All right. And message from them to you is, I don't know how I feel anymore. Yeah, I don't know. This person seems to still have some things they need to work out. Now, like I said, I'm feeling like they really are making the steps that they need to make. But like I said, I get that weird vibe that underneath it all, it's like, okay, how do they really view it though? And that's what I get with that Ace of Swords. It's like, okay, are they like truly into it, or do they still feel like they're being tied down, and not in a fun way, right? Like in the picture there, but more like, okay, well, they feel like they're restricted in some way. So that could be what's going on there. So you're definitely gonna have to feel it out. I mean, you guys are very intuitive, and I think in your general reading too, it was saying that you guys were super popular anyway. So even if you decide to leave that connection behind, it seems like you might have other options out there too. So there's that. But last thing we'll do is actually pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. For those of you watching my general readings, this is one of the Oracle decks I use there as well, so you might be used to it by now. But yeah, we'll just pull one card here for a general overview and then wrap up. Alright. Same situation. I did shuffle this one before we start recording as well, but I want to pull a jumper for here too. Alright, I do usually stick with it with this deck for a card because I don't like to leave. Oh, there we go. Actually, two came out, so let's see. Maybe one of the messages will resonate for some and one for the other, or maybe they'll both resonate. We'll see. This one, the first one we'll look at is To Be Fair. There's the artwork for it. Definitely has that Libra vibe to it. And the number 38. So let's see what this has to say. Okay, it says balance, justice, a need to consider options, mutual benefit, the law of cause and effect. The Oracle's message: life offers experiences that are challenging and experiences that are nourishing, yet over time they strike a balance. You move from being, from stasis to doing, from discovering to loving, to letting go to being again. Life is a pendulum swinging between all of these states. You will always oscillate back and forth between doing and being. If you are not content with where you are at this moment, remember that all experiences have their place. Accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts in perfect balance. You reap what you sow. For every cause there is an effect. Wondrous things will be revealed now. So what was interesting to me about that is when it was talking about how, you always oscillate back and forth between doing and being, and I was talking about that Six of Coins energy, how, we think of that as the card of balance, but like I was saying, what stands out there is this person is giving one of their three pentacles to the person who already has three, right? So like I was saying, that could be, okay, you might have been putting in more to work in the past, and now they're going to be putting in more to work. And that could be what it's saying there, that balance is eventually established, just might not be in the timeline we want. All right, the relationship message says, can you find a way to achieve fairness right now? This is a time for listening as well as speaking, for understanding as well as asking to be understood. There is much to be learned, and you will learn it if you remain open and objective, weighing options and considering all sides. Your heart wants to connect to others, so allow for a balanced exchange of ideas and actions. The best kind of relationship is one which there is mutual benefit and each party feels heard, valued, and respected. Be fair to all. So pretty good message there. Like I said, that's definitely the vibe that I'm getting, is that, especially with the Virgo energy at the bottom for you there, that you will be speaking up and establishing boundaries and saying, hey, this is what I will and will not accept, right? We talked about that early on in the reading. And maybe this is saying with them and the Ace of Swords, maybe they're going to come out to you too and tell you, hey, well, this is how I operate, right? And maybe, hopefully, for some, you'll be able to meet in the middle. Or if not, like I said, you might have other options at play as well. So we'll see what the other card has to say. So the second one we got is Treasure Island. There's the artwork for it. and the number is 9. Okay, let's see what that has to say. Okay, it says the law of attraction bringing dreams into fruition, the results of positive thinking made manifest, abundance appearing as if from nowhere, financial gains, and the sharing of good fortune. So interesting. Already, this makes me think of what I was saying with the Pentacles energy, of maybe you guys, because of a past heartbreak, you've really thrown yourself into your career and maybe your finances have been improving. So that could be what that's pointing to there. The Oracle's message says you've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly, in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. You have uncovered the map to buried treasure and tapped the unlimited potential within you. What you must hone now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase where all the long, hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. In all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others, as treasure shared multiplies like magic. So interesting. Also, this particular message reminds me of the message from your general reading, which, like I said, it definitely seemed like things were really coming in for you guys in a positive way this month. So hopefully that resonates with you. The relationship message says your relationship is a treasure, providing even more than you need, but you may not see that right now. No matter how long you've been together, you and your partner are always discovering hidden gems about yourselves and each other. Now is a time of discovery. It's as if everything is in sync and everything is new again. Romance blooms and love is in the air. You can be assured that this partnership will bring you great gifts and valuable lessons. Keep your heart open. The message of this card is to celebrate love and what it teaches you. So, again, hopefully that's a message that resonates for you as well. Overall, I feel like maybe the first one resonated with the general vibe a bit more. And then this one, like I said, almost makes me think of your general September reading. But either way, hopefully that all resonated for you guys, and I'll talk to you all next month. All right, bye.